All right, typically with my workflow, I'll start with research and development, and I'll typically ask questions like, who is my target audience? Who is my client? What are their needs? What are their business's needs? And I'll use those to shape my research. So we always start with research and development, and we'll ask those clients those questions. In this case, you are the client, so you can know what's your favorite color, or who is your target market, or maybe you haven't answered those questions yet. Now's a really good time to think about those things you want to define. What is your voice going to be? What is your story? What flavor are you going to bring to the market? What is going to be your unique sales proposition as you become your own freelancer? So take a moment to think about that. And sometimes I'll do that secondary and I'll just start flipping through logos like I'm about to show you. And the reason why is sometimes it's just kind of nice to see what's possible or what ideas might help you evolve in this process. So let's go ahead and right click on your desktop. We'll create a new folder and I'll just call it ideas. And then what I'll do, I usually have these three websites are the ones that I typically bounce between. I've got logolounge.com, behance.net, and logopond.com. Logopond is kind of becoming my favorite at the moment for finding some simple logo ideas. And as you flip through this, think about a lot of different things. For example, this one caught my eye. It's kind of busy, but I also like that blue color. So I can click on this and drag it right to that folder that I created, or right click and save image as, depending on how you want to work. But I really like how bold that is. I really like the color combination. It's a little busy. It would be, you could simplify those colors if you needed to turn it into like a one color print. Here's another version that artist did. I like that as well. I'm a huge fan of bold, contrasty images, so I'm going to throw that in my ideas folder. I like both the combination of the font. I like the styling of the subtle shadows that they've used. I like the colors. So that's why I put that in there. I'll just hit the back button a couple times. And this is typically how I work. I just flip through and find things that either inspire me or that I like, whether it's how they created the illustration or maybe the color they used. And I'll just grab, maybe I don't know, a dozen or so images of things that inspire me. And it could be for nothing else other than, in this case, I really like the organic feel of this, but that might not even make sense for the logo we're about to make. So I'll go through and just find things that inspire me. On Behance, come up here to Discover, click on Search and Explore, and then you can type in logo here or branding, and you might have some better luck there. And sometimes it's pretty helpful, sometimes not so much. And what I'll do here is if I see anything I like or that might be a good place to start that might inspire me, I'll hold down the Command key. You can hold down a Control P if you're on a PC and click on that, and you'll see it just opens those links in a new tab, and that way I can scroll through without losing my place. And if it's at all inspiring, I can just Command click on it to open it up into a new window. So Command click here, maybe Command click here, and you see I've got a few more tabs to check out here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Logo Lounge real quick. Now, Logo Lounge is a subscription-based service, but they still have some great articles on current logo trends or logos in the news. And this is a really good place for you to brush up on just your overall knowledge of what it takes to create a logo and what's popular and what works well. Here's a shameless plug. Back in 2010, I was actually featured as one of the artists. I'll throw that out there. I don't mind. But anyway, here's a logo that I created way back in the day in 2010, so don't judge too harsh, but this one right here, this tendrils effect, that was super popular back then. And so that's one of the logos that I created. But anyway, you can go through here and look at some of those trends and see what's popular, and maybe that might help you create your logo. I would warn though, try to keep your logo simple. Try not to get caught up in trends, because just like anything else, trends can die, and you want your logo to be as timeless as possible. So that way you can't be like, oh yeah, that was definitely made back in 2010, when everything was trending towards this, whatever effect it was. So go ahead and scroll through, find some different ideas, gather them into this folder. And once we have these collected, we're going to go ahead and create a mood board in the next video.